Hi, I'm Liz Parsons. I'm a Senior Education Officer for Life, and I'm here to warn you that some of our most vulnerable women and young girls are being put at risk by proposed changes to the abortion law. In March this year, Life shared stories that included over 1,000 girls who'd been sexually abused, many of whom had been forced into having multiple abortions in order to allow this abuse to continue. Stories such as the one about a 12-year-old girl in Oxford who was brutally raped by a group of men and forced into having a DIY abortion. For many years, the abortion industry has found a way to work around the law. By asking few questions, abortion providers have enabled abusers to cover up their despicable crimes and maintain control over their victims. But this is happening now, even with the safeguards we supposedly have in place to protect women. Currently, 2 doctors are supposed to sign off on each abortion to agree that they believe in good faith that the woman is choosing an abortion of her own free will and that they think it would be better for her mental or physical health. And yet, let's not forget the undercover investigation that proved 67 doctors were pre-signing abortion forms. In other words, these doctors weren't even meeting the patients on whose behalf they were agreeing to a medical procedure. And what about the story of Sarah, a young girl who was abducted at the age of 15 and forced to marry a member of the sex grooming gang who took her? Over 12 years, she suffered continual abuse and had 8 abortions, 5 of which that were carried out by the same NHS doctor. Where was Sarah's protection? Why did the abortion provider not ask the relevant questions? And why did no one recognise the awful situation she was in? This is happening in our society now, and yet BPAS and the We Trust Women campaign are encouraging MPs to change the law on abortion, to make it even more accessible and to ask even fewer questions. There will be no 2-doctor rule if it's even a doctor who makes the decision. DIY abortions will become more common and make it even harder for the authorities to detect desperate women and girls in need. According to the Now for NI briefing, thousands of women across the UK are ordering pills to end their own pregnancy from online providers, but a quarter of them report being in abusive relationships. There is a direct correlation between abortion and abuse. Legislation that our opponents would bring in supports the abusers. This is not worthy of the Domestic Violence and Abuse Bill, and far from removing the few safeguards we have, we should be doing everything we can to make sure anyone affected by abuse can get the support they need and that their abusers are identified and prosecuted. At Life, we care for women. So why don't you join us and contact your MP to encourage them to vote against the 10-minute rule bill and against any amendments to the Domestic Abuse Bill or any other bill which seeks to remove abortion from criminal law. This is too important.